Hey, it's your girl KV coming at you with another review. Didn't think I would be able to get to this one today, but got a little extra time in between activities. So this is a review for Sistas, Season 8, Episode 15, Tectonic Shifts, and 16, Choose You. These episodes, they be alright, I guess. They don't be bad because we get a little bit more plot line. We do get a little bit more story. It doesn't take as long as previous seasons would take to get to the point. So I guess we should count our blessings, right? Episode 15 starts. Well, it be all over the place, but this will be happening. Gary's in there. He's having flashbacks of Zach and Fatima, and because Agent Watts is showing him pictures of them, like, do you know any of these people? And he's having a visceral reaction to both Fatima and Zach. Fatima because I got makeup on there. Fatima because you remember when her and Andy busted up in his office, pulled the knife out on him. Zach because they got into a fight. He punched him. Now, he did not say that either of these people was the ones that yanked them, but he does say, she pulled the knife on me, he hit me. He doesn't really place them at the scene, though. But that's enough for Agent Watt to run with for now. We see Robin is still at Andy's house. She's questioning him on if he is the one responsible for stab night or whatever, right? He's just like, what you mean? Why would you even think that I could do something like that? You really think that little of me? I mean, Gary's terrible and all, but I wouldn't go that far. Andy's like, well, why wouldn't you? As much trouble as he caused when we was together, and then he tried to take the firm from you, you've got ample reason to go after him. He's just like, listen, that's not what I'm on. That's not who I am. But one day, someday, I'm going to get your trust back. She's like, get out. Get out. Okay, girl. Nextly, she is in there just like down and out. She is eating a tub of ice cream, straight out the tub of ice cream, spoon just going ham. And so Miss Marie gets there, and of course she gets her together, and she's like, girl, you can't give up. And he's like, I'm tired of fighting. We're just so always fighting. Black women need a rest. I'ma just rest. Miss Marie's like, girl, you can rest when you dead. You got a job to do, okay? I brought my money to this firm because of you, so you're not gonna leave me high and dry, okay? Right? She's like, well, what did Michelle Obama say? When they go low, we have to go high? She was like, love Miss Michelle dearly. So she said, been to her house for a book club or something like that. Something along those lines. She was like, but no, when they go low, we taking it to hell. I said, period. Period. So we see Fatima pop up on Sabrina. They kind of stand there awkwardly for a minute, and Sabrina lets her know, I'm not going to tell nobody about your pregnancy. Does Andy know? She's like, no, I haven't told anybody yet. Gonna wait till I'm further along, right? She was like, well, girl, you need to keep an eye on Zach because he good for telling Danny, and you know she can't hold water. I said that was a cute little moment where it was definitely like truce. You know what I mean? Like, good on the truce. We good, girl, type deal. So they talk, and they're really smoothing it out over the children. They see each other, okay, in the best way. She's like, you know, you a businesswoman, you running 2 businesses, you carrying 2 babies, you got a lot going on your plate. And she's like, yeah, you working at the law firm, you in law school, you taking care of being there for Michael and Zach, and you know, you carrying your own baby as well. They're just really sitting there like having this heartfelt moment, you know? And then Fatima, they like, you know, I'm going to love your baby. I'm not going to treat your kids no different. This is what Fatima said. I'm not going to treat your kids no different or treat mine better. I'm going to treat all Zach's kids the same. I said not all Zach's kids, and not even just all Zach's kids, but all y'all kids, because you gonna be with the other twin too. She already said, yeah, them babies, Auntie Fatima gonna love them babies down, basically. And Karen was like, Auntie Fatima, but what does Michael call you? She's like, well, Michael calls me Mama Fatima, but that's because Heather ain't in the picture, so I'm Mama. With your babies, you'll be their mama. And she's like, yeah, they gonna call me Mama, but, they can call you Mama Fatima. And she's like, what? Say that again. She lets her know, they can call you Mama Fatima. I said, ooh, oh, you know what that is? Growth. Word to Insecure. So it was a cute little moment. They try to hug, but it's all awkward. She's like, I'm pregnant, so maybe we just wait for the hug and stuff. I said, not waiting after you're pregnant to try to hug. Also in this episode, we see Rich and Sabrina. They're at the hospital. They are getting the news about his sperm. Remember, they got the call, but they kept getting distracted. Danny did this, then that. So now they're finally at the doctor's getting these results. Apparently, he has the sickle cell trait, so he is ineligible to be a donor. So they cannot use his sperm to donate to fertilize her eggs. Of course, he is shocked and distraught. This is his first time even finding out that he has the sickle cell trait. And they are both a little bit ignorant to what exactly that means for him. He starts freaking out, thinking that he has the disease. The doctor lets him know, listen, you don't have the disease. You have one regular trait, one sickle cell trait. Just because you have the trait don't mean that you'll ever show symptoms. It just means that you have the trait. You could pass it down to a child, so therefore you can't be eligible. But you and Sabrina could easily have babies in the future. They're like, girl, what you talking about? They're like, the natural way. You can't be a donor, but she doesn't have the trait. So y'all could just be the natural way and have a baby. That's fine. They're like, so if that's the case, why can't he be the donor? Girl, that's the rules. Don't be asking questions. This the rules. That's what we do, okay? Ain't nobody gonna break the rules for you, okay? Period. Right? So he's just like calling himself damaged goods, and he's just really distraught that he can't fertilize her eggs. She's like, oh my God, so that's just like all the money down the drain? The doctor's like, not necessarily. You still got the other sperm sample that you could use for your eggs. Rich is just very much like taken aback by this. He's like, what you mean she can get pregnant by this other dude? Also, Rich was when she was explaining sickle cell to them, because they were like, well, what is sickle cell anyway? Rich just kind of got upset and kind of yelled a little bit, okay, that's enough type deal. So they get home and they're trying to like talk it through, and she's just sitting there confused. She don't know what to do. She spent all of this money and, the blood, sweat, and tears and needles of going through this IVF journey. So she doesn't want to just abandon it. But at the same time, that might not even be the most viable option for her as far as this relationship goes. But this relationship can be gone tomorrow. So I truly don't want her making no decisions because of Rich, right? So they get home. They're discussing it. And he's like, well, let's just have a baby right now. Let's just do it right now. He's trying to jump her bones right in that moment. This man needs therapy, because that should not be the answer. But I get it that you're emotional. You're just acting out, lashing out. But sir, I couldn't deal with Rich. I could not deal with Rich. She's like, dude, get up off me. We're not finna just do that right now in this moment. Like, nobody's mind is on that. He's mad now. He's like, oh, so you don't want to have a sick kid with me when you can have a healthy one with Damani? She's like, dude, you tripping. I don't even want a baby right now. I was planning on freezing my eggs for later. I was not trying to have a kid right now, so you trying to jump my bones just for the sake of claiming me and marking me and pat it with a B and put a baby in the oven for probably just me. Ain't nobody got time for that. Nobody has time for that. So that's what happened in that episode. Next, we're going to talk about episode 16, Choose You, right? We see Agent Watt go over to Zatima's house about Gary's reaction. He's letting them know, yeah, he said that he's had run-ins with the two of you that he remembered, da da da. Zach is like, But what happens to his memory problem? Don't he got memory loss? Well, don't worry about that. But yeah, we're worried about that, sir, because this cannot be admissible. Going up out of here. Don't be trying to jam us up on something that you know we didn't do. Agent White, like, how I know y'all ain't did it? Gary just said y'all had beef. Zach is trying not to go off. Zatima is trying to keep him from going off, but also trying to stand firm. Zach ends up kind of folding in a way, if you ask me, because he's just trying to get the Agent Watts off his side. He ends up showing him the suspect board. Zatima's like, what are you doing? Why would you? He's like, listen, baby, he already here. And my thing is, I ain't even gonna say Zach folded. It probably is what made the most sense, because Agent White was in the apartment long enough that I'm sure he scanned the room quite a few times, and I'm sure he saw that board. So I might as well take you over to see this board before you try to go get a Zagon subpoena to search my house to see what I got on this board. You know what I mean? If I put you out. So I get why Zach took him over to the board, showed him the board or whatever. And he was like, well, you better have something useful to me in 24 hours or I'm going to be back on your neck. I said, not that you trying to get them to solve the murder for you. No, not the murder. Solve the assault for you. Like, dude. He was like, yeah, we did all of this with, not even a piece of your resources and just the two of us type deal. And y'all just been, twiddling your fingers, because he was looking shocked. Like, you got this person on the board? You got this person on the board? He's like, yes. Like, everybody but us. So we trying to figure out who it is, because it's not us. It could be any of these people. So Fatima is still standing 10 toes down. Like, we know you can't get us on nothing. If you had something, you would already have us in cuffs. Y'all already had to let Penelope go. So y'all just shooting in the dark. Like, ain't nobody finna, boy. So get on about it here. Next we see, in the last episode, we saw where Danny, after she wrote in her diary and was like, oh, shout out to Zach, the homie, for coming through and really speaking life into me, yada, yada, yada. Once she's done writing in her journal, she's like, you know what, I'm going to go to work. Mind you, she already asked Tony, her boss that she's sleeping with, to put in PTO for her. She goes up to the job. He's like, girl, what you doing? I already put this PTO in for you. Yeah, but I'd rather save that for a better time. Take it off. Oh, okay. Yeah, let me take off this PTO then. I'm like, y'all doing everything in y'all's power to show that there is a favoritism in this relationship, to show that y'all out here moving foul when it comes to work policy. So annoying. Both of them end up getting a call from HR about a complaint. They like, meet me in your office, Tony. They meet in the office. This little lady, little cute pantsuit. They like, that's a bad pantsuit. But it's old boy from the counter next to Danny. He's mad and he filed a complaint because he feels like there was favoritism shown with Danny getting into the management program, right? So getting into the management program. So she said, ain't nothing happening right now, but we are going to launch an investigation about this to dig further into this relationship to see if it, what is coming of this, right? Sabrina is at work. In the last episode, we see Maurice doing the most, per usual. Fighting with Paige, per usual. Coming in late, per usual. Sabrina actually reprimanded him and was like, you gonna cover her while she goes for an extended break, since you keep taking these extended breaks, and taunting her. Maurice is like, okay, girl, whatever. But he also noticed that something is a little bit off with Sabrina. She tells him, there's something wrong with Richard's sperm. It's not viable. I can't get into why that's his business, but now I don't know what I'm going to do. So, of course, she's at work sad about this. He's trying to get the answer out of her. Like, you gonna use the money sperm, or what's going on? As they're talking about him, the money comes right on in. Maurice like, woo, child, I done manifested a man type deal. They put him on out, and Damani sits down to talk about business. Well, he did kind of, I can't remember what he said, but he did ask like an awkward question around, like, you gonna use my eggs? Am I baby daddy? kind of awkward somewhere in there, but not enough to really write down to mention. I can't remember. But he tells her that since writing the article about her, that she's been getting all this praise and all this notice from the higher ups, and they selected her to represent them in a conference in Turks and Caicos. I said, baby, who conference in Turks and Caicos? Where them jobs at? I need to go work for a bank. Y'all gonna send me to Turks and Caicos? I said, what is that about? They talk about Richard's sperm, and he apologized because he was like, he asked a question like, oh, you use his sperm? And she was like, no, it didn't work out. He was like, oh, he did all that stuff, and then he just gonna walk out on you. And then she was like, no, that is not what I said. That is not what happened. And he's like, oh, snap, my bad. So he has to check himself. And of course, Rich comes in while all of this is going on. Rich comes in. I feel like Damani left. She's sitting there talking to Rich, but Andy ends up calling her. So she really doesn't finish her business with Rich. I don't recall. I just be like halfway writing these notes because I be forgetting about when it don't be that good of an episode. That's how Potomac and Sisters be falling by the wayside sometimes, because it don't be exciting to it's like, oh, let me go report to the people, tell them what I think. You know what I mean? So like I said, Andy ends up calling her. Since we on Andy, Miss Marie is over there still preaching to her about how she can't stop fighting just because she's tired. And she also tells her that she needs to take accountability for her role in letting Gary ruin her life. Like, yeah, he ruined your life, but you let him. You constantly let him back into your life, knowing what type of time he on. Take accountability. I'm so glad that somebody told her that she respects enough, because Andy, although she loves her friends or whatever, she definitely feels like she's at the top. She's the top of the pecking order when it comes to them. So anytime they give advice or they try to say something or they try to comment, she gives them that attitude of like, you're trying to tell me what to do with my life? She kind of talks to them with that air, or you know what I mean? Like they can't correct her or let her know when she's messing up, especially when it's Danny. So Miss Marie being the one to tell her that, awesome. Andy says, yeah, I guess my girls have been trying to warn me. Yeah, girl, they've been trying to warn you. So she's like, you always talking about these girls. Call them up. Call your girls and invite them over. I said, in the middle of the day, like people ain't got jobs. Okay. So Karen and Sabrina get there first, and Sabrina is fangirling. Oh my gosh, I loved you in your girl group. Oh my gosh, and when you started doing this, I love that too. I just love everything you do. You my shero girl. The girls look up to Oprah. I look up to Miss Marie Willis. Okay? Sabrina was fangirling. It was funny. It was cute. Marie big ups her. She's like, okay, well, I know a little bit about you too, right? You was in that article, and you're doing this and you're doing that, and you're really making a splash for the bank. Sabrina looking like, what? And she lets her know, I'm on the board of the bank, so I seen the article. I know about you. I seen your resume. So she like, okay then. But she tells her, but if only your love life was as put together. I said, oh, not to get you gotcha, if only your love life was as put together, my dear. So Danny and Fatima show up together, and they're coming in just cackling. I said, they so funny. They friendship is hilarious. And they walk in and they confused, like, why are we here, girl? What is this panel? Miss Maria's like, well, I summoned you. Danny's like, well, who is this? Miss Marie said, girl, I'm Miss Marie Willis, okay? The big one, not the little one, okay? They want them little puppies, but I'm the big dog, okay? You about to get this Miss Marie Willis masterclass, okay? Sit down, buckle up, get out your notepads. Danny is just like, girl, I don't know you like that. I ain't fooling with you. Like, don't get popped or whatever. Miss Marie tell her, well, listen, girl, I know how to bob and weave, and I done put down better and younger than you. So try it if you want to. She like, oh, excuse me, who is this chick? But Miss Marie Willis gets started on this masterclass, honey. She starts with Sabrina. Hey, I know you upset about this man's sperm not being viable, and that's what it is, but didn't he not want to be a dad, then decided he wanted to be a dad? Like, a wavering man does not make a good dad. I want baked chicken. Oh, her order. A wavering man does not make a good dad, okay? Man's rejection is God's protection. I said, period. We are heading home. Period, right? So everyone is shocked about Rich because this is them finding out that his sperm is not viable, because she's like, it ain't viable, I can't use it no way. So they're like, oh my God, Sabrina, no. Next, she gets on to Karen. She was like, well, we see you have no problem making babies and baby daddies and all of that. Karen said, damn, man, did you give my social security too? Did you give my social security too? She said, yeah, I got that too. But she tells her that, you know, you build a family on your own terms. Don't do what other people think you should do, and don't just live your life according to others. She said, well, I have feelings for Aaron now, so, you know, I want to explore that. She's like, well, explore that, and that's all fine and dandy, but just make... I was trying to get my little video done, but then my mama called, like, did you get my text message? I said, yeah, girl, I got your text message. I was going to reply to it when I got done with the video, but here we are now. It's my week to cook, but I'm not, and so I'm getting crock pot. And so she had sent me her crock pot order, and I was like, well, girl, since we're on the phone, just get my crock pot order, and you can call it in, and we can pick it up, and we'll see you at his house, right? Y'all know I go to my mama's house every Sunday. We have Sunday dinner. We go back and forth. Pork chop, fried mac and cheese, and green bean. Girl, yes, that's what I said. Me and Melina gonna share, so show me her own plate, because I don't get no whole lot of food. And they be piling them plates anyway. Anywho, Karen, yeah, she wants to be with Aaron now. Okay, well, explore that on your own terms. Is this a fly? What is happening? What is happening? What is happening? And then she's like, and your ex, right? That's Fatima. That's Fatima's fiance, right? She called her Fatima at some point in the conversation before that. She was like, it's Fatima. She was like, y'all keep it in a circle, huh? Y'all so crazy. She tells her, you know, what? I can't remember what that was. So now she gets to Fatima. Fatima's like, oh no, I don't need your advice. I'm good. She was like, you are good. You are, but I could take you from good to great. And Danny was like, oh snap, I might like her. I might like her just a little bit, right? So she's like, you know, girl, what kind of advice are you gonna give me? You got 4 divorces. How you gonna school me on love life? Any of us? She was like, yeah, I went through everything. I made all the mistakes. I've been a fool, and I can tell you what not to do. I said, period. Exactly that. Don't ask a person that's unhappily married. Ask the person that's happily divorced, okay? That's always been my motto when it comes to marriage. Ask the person that's happily divorced, because if they're happily divorced, that means they made the right choice for them. That means they saw the red flags, the boundaries were set up. And if they were not obeyed, they close at 6. Oh, snap. If it's not obeyed, then that's fine. 6 is fine. It's 5:30. Yeah, this got like 5 more minutes on here. So, girl, will you be able to get there? This video gonna be all type of choppy. This video gonna be all type of choppy. She the one messing up the flow of the day. Anyway, she was like, I can take you from good to great, yada, yada, yada. How you gonna school me? I made the mistake, so you ain't have to. You feel me? She was like, but you and Zach, y'all been through a whole lot. More than me and all 4 of my divorces. I said, dang it. She said, felonies, arrests, baby mamas. She said, that's all fine if you want to hold your man down, because you do that. But make sure that he puts you on that same pedestal that you keep him on. I said, And she's like, you know, we praise men for doing the least while we do the most. No more struggle love, ladies. No more struggle love. I said, I know that's right. No more struggle love for them, because it be struggling. It be so struggling. So now she gets to Danny. Danny says, Miss Marie, now just keep in mind that I will whoop your ass if you do too much now. She said, oh, you think so? She said, yeah, I mean, well, it would be ageism if I didn't. She was like, well, absolutely right. So she tells Danny, you know, the panic attacks, the night terrors, like, what's going on, girl? But good for you for going to therapy and working through these things. Like, I truly commend you for that. And she tells her to keep up the therapy because she is worth it and she is irreplaceable. And she was like, thanks. Ass whooping rescinded. It was a cute little moment. It was a little tearjerker moment because Danny does need to know that she matters, because in this friend circle, because she doesn't have everything figured out like the rest of them do professionally, not love life, professionally, they kind of try to sun her a bit. And it's like, it be aggy, right? So Miss Marie tells them, you know, I needed this. Thank y'all for listening. They're like, we needed this too. Thank you for talking. And she tells Andy, if you're not back at that farm in a week, I'm going to spread the word to everybody that you a pitiful little wimp who rolls over at the first sign of trouble. Okay? Okay? So play if you want to. But you better get back at that farm and handle my accounts. I ain't good up there to be hanging with no hating. Okay? He good to smash on. But handling my account, listen. Get back to that farm before I slander your name in all of these streets. Okay? But that's the end of this little review, y'all. Make sure y'all like, comment, subscribe. Let me know what y'all think about it. How many episodes do we have left of this season? I guess we probably only halfway through because this was the start of season B. Like B, whatever it is, 9B. Whatever, child. Like the video. Support your girl, okay? Support me. Support me, bitch. Support me. Marlo, support me. Like the video. Subscribe to the channel.